Dog Gadgets. Live.
Hey everybody,
Hey.
It's Friday!
It is.
Yay! If you're watching this, it's because you somehow stumbled upon this link on our live stream.
Thank you.
It's Friday Hangout with Brown Dog Gadgets. We show off some weird stuff we've been doing and just hang out. People ask us questions, and it's us avoiding doing real work at the end of the day on Friday. As always, I'm here with the wonderful producer Pete,
Hello.
who now has a fun little button console where you can press buttons and it does sound effects, which
Fun
I
time.
can't hear because I don't have headphones on.
That's the best part, is that you can't hear it until you watch it later.
And again, he assumes I watch this later. I watch myself on the screen right in front of me. I don't need to see more of myself.
Josh, remember when you were in chess club and you recorded all the matches so you could watch them later to figure out what you did good and bad?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Chess club.
I don't know.
Well, for all 2 people watching us right now, thank you for showing up. We're going to talk about a few things we've been working on, including this really cool thing I have right here in my
We've been
hand.
working on that.
We have been. Yeah, take that, people listening to this.
Can it stick to the mic? No, it can't stick to the microphone.
Anyway, let's go to the overhead view.
What
so we
is
can-
that exactly?
We'll
that you're
talk about this in
holding?
a second. Let's go to overhead view.
Here we go.
Yay! You know what this is? This is frickin' Conductive Velcro! I'm sorry, hook and loop is the official
Hook and loop.
term.
Yes,
Velcro,
it is.
Trademark. There. Oh, by the way, as always, forget, Pete, where people find all this wonderful stuff we're talking about? We can find
Well, there's the best place really is browndoggadgets.com.
now with even better font than last week.
And you know what you can get there? Maker tape.
That's hashtag MakerTape.
Maker tape.
Also, if you like our stuff, you can follow us on social media via all these
could.
social media links. Bow!
you go.
Look at that. I'm going to point up to it from this little bubble.
That's right.
Yeah. We have too much fun with all this equipment.
Hey, we've got our old friend Maker Block here, and he says the noise. I think he wants more Velcro.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
that,
we-
Maker Block. Gonna block you, Maker dude.
No, don't block him. He's a great guy.
You've been blocked. This is Conductive Velcro, conductive hook and loop. It really is conductive material, much like conductive thread or the conductive maker tape we use. It is a fabric-based conductive medium. We tested this out with a multimeter, which I didn't bring, but it has no issues doing decent conductivity. And I've been checking this stuff out for years, literally years. And I think the first place I saw this on was a conspiracy theory-esque website where all the conductive like fabrics and materials they had on there was not for like electronics. It was for protecting people from evil and harmful electromagnetic rays.
Why were you on this website?
Well, I was looking at conductive
okay.
thread and other
All right.
materials, trying to source some new parts. And I always like trying out new components so I know what there's available out there.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but it's really expensive. Make Magazine, Makershed.com, who we're making some kits for and doing some programming with, sent us a bunch of this, or I should say a couple strips of this to try out. I think even they admitted they didn't know where they found like a box of this. They're like, we don't know where this came from. Have some conductive Velcro. But this stuff works really, really, really well. I think Adafruit has this on their website.
Yeah.
But it's not super cheap. And I'm still trying to struggle what to use this for. We've been trying to figure out for a couple weeks now, like what's a good project that would use this.
I know.
Oh, what? Oh, Maker Block.
Faraday cage. There you go. Make one of those somehow.
There you go.
I don't know. That could work, maybe.
You could put the microchip in here. It could be...
So
put the microchip in the Velcro. It's the only way to
Right.
protect us from the something ray.
So I feel like any sort of conductive sewing type project, it would make a good switch versus those tiny little metal buttons, maybe.
Well, that's the thing. The metal button snaps, at least you know when something is snapped well together.
That's true, yeah.
They're super, super, super cheap and easy to sew on.
They are, yeah.
And you know it's a solid connection. Like, it snaps on. There's a
Right.
nice click.
Yep.
And the other thing is, like, they're 3 cents each. You can buy them anywhere.
are.
Versus, like, I think a strip like this is, like, at least $5. And it's Velcro, and it will lose its
Yeah.
Velcro-nessy over time. Not to mention you have to still sew through this with your conductive
Right.
thread. Now, like someone like Helen, who was on last week, she actually had some really cool conductive thread she'd found that was sewing machine compatible.
Yeah.
That'd be easy to just sew over this, but in my head, I'm like, it's going to be such a pain in the butt to sew through here with conductive thread. It's just like, it's one of those things, like, I like the idea of it. I cannot think of a good way to use it.
Well, my thought, and again, Maker Block, thinking just like me, is that for kids, small kids with fine motor skills, those little buttons might be a little tough.
And that's like the only thing I can think of. Like, if you're making a nice, like, fun pillow or other large soft circuitry project for small children.
Right.
I have a 1.5-year-old son. He's a small little dude. His motor skills are still developing. He's a little guy.
Right.
But he can totally Velcro and unVelcro his shoes.
Yeah.
Especially unVelcro them and take his shoes off all the time.
And you could cut that into kind of smallish pieces, still larger than a button for small hands.
I would say I think this is like this is like an inch by inch square, and you could totally do that with kids with fabric based projects, especially if you want to make something for kids with limited mobility or younger students. Just thing lights up, conductive thread, and I've been thinking of ways of making some like fun light up fidget devices, or there's an official word like a play set with buttons and switches for my son.
Ooh, yeah.
Just because I've seen people do it in the past, where it's just like big switches, big buttons,
I like that stuff.
stuff that lights up. It doesn't do anything. Just LEDs turn on. Maybe an Arduino
Busy
does a
box,
buzzer.
I think.
There's the word, busy box.
We gotta make one of those.
But I've seen people do really good projects. I'm like, how can I do that? We got a laser cutter. We got boxes full of switches throughout the years. Gigantic switches I think I took from the Makerspace years ago.
I have those too.
Yeah, it's just big fun things for the kid to play with, and this would be good for like a soft project where you could hide stuff in there. And with a metal box or wooden box, at least I could hide the things that could be dangerous to a little person, like batteries. But you could say use a AA battery holder or something with conductive sewing, and you make a nice big pillow that lights up or something. You shake it and LEDs turn on, or you Velcro something together. That's like the only thing I really think of. But those are very specific use cases. I know even conductive sewing in general is such a niche area. I know it's like kind of cosplayers and people who are just kind of curious about trying something out. I
think that's the audience. I mean, I don't think it's the sort of more craft things we do. I think it's more like, I'm doing this cosplay outfit. I really need it authentic with this switch. Okay, maybe that would work.
I mean, it's conductive sewing is such a tough medium to work in because nothing is rigid, everything's fluid, and the things move around, they flow around, and sewing just takes a long time to physically do by hand.
Right.
Which is why I like using the Maker Tape for quick wearables. But if you want to make a really cool outfit that's going to last you multiple years, you might want to do conductive sewing. But even Becky Stern once told me, good old Becky Stern with all of her crazy wearables she's done over the years.
Lots of cool stuff.
She had mentioned to me at ISTE last year that she'd taken a break from sewing because she found a lot of her old projects, the thread had corroded over time and just didn't work.
Wow.
Like it was sitting in a closet. They just stopped working. And I know even one of our oldest, biggest project, we made a NASA shirt that lights up with LEDs, and one of our prototype Crazy Circus boards from like 3.5 years ago. Robin spent 8-10 hours working on that. And you can actually see the color of the thread is such a distinctly different color, like such a darker color than a new roll of thread.
Is it rusted or what? Like
it
oxidized or
it's
what?
It's oxidizing, yeah. And so that's kind of like, it's an issue. Even like our Maker Tape, I've seen old projects where like, that's a darker color. It still works just fine because at least this is a big, thick woven piece.
There's a lot in there, yeah.
But thread is just, it's just rough. And I know I talk to people at maker fairs, they want to run a ton of power through thread, like running a bunch of NeoPixels or whatnot. And like, they keep running. One lady said she wanted to run like some huge strips of NeoPixels off of conductive thread. Like, is your tape good enough for running this much power through? I'm like, I don't know. You're asking like multiple amps of power on fabric or something you're wearing. Can you not just use like a wire? He's like, oh no, I have to like be able to twirl with this outfit. And I was like, but your strips of NeoPixels they're strips, but they're still kind of rigid. I don't know. I'm not the right person to talk to about wearables. I do ugly Christmas sweaters is the extent of our stuff, or the occasional sock puppet. Do sock puppet. But yeah. So this is conductive Velcro. I would say if you're really into sewing stuff, try it out. It's worth giving a whirl. I mean, there's so many conductive zippers these days, conductive material zipper, which I thought was really cool too. I'm like, what are you gonna do with a zipper? Like, I couldn't tell like if the two sides like you started out being disconnected, but when you zipped it together, it was connected, which would be kind of cool. But then again, this was like a $10 zipper as a switch, and I was like, You have to have a super
again,
specific reason for this.
Those are all just, I think, niche things. They're not
niche.
for our sort of projects. Those
Niche
are
or niche?
niche,
Niche or niche?
niche. I don't know.
Nietzsche?
But no, those are the things where you might know one person's like, oh, I've been looking for this, I found it, cool, but like 100 other people don't want it.
Yeah.
But it's good that it's out there, I guess.
Sewing is cool. Hey, fun fact about zippers. Like 98% of all the zippers in the world are made by one Japanese company.
Is it YKK?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Not to be mistaken with YYZ, which is
Zed.
a song by Rush.
All right, cool.
And only Neil Peart can play that.
They wrote that in 2112, didn't they? I don't know.
I thought that was in Moving Pictures.
I don't know.
As we reference things from the 80s. Once again, despite me not being that old. Pete's like 90 over here.
I am
He's so old.
99.9.
This week, we made a couple fun projects. And if you didn't see our other streams, shame on you.
Ooh,
people with lives
wow.
and rich things that they're doing and relationships. So we made a fun battery holder, battery tester, not holder. It could hold a battery.
It holds a battery while it tests it.
So we allow CR203.2s. This is a project on our website. You can make an easy clothespin-based battery tester. Ta-da! Is it good or not? LED maker tape clothespin. It's on our website. It's a super easy project. It takes like 3 minutes to do. We somehow stretched it out to like a 25-minute episode. But make one of these. It's one of those things that really comes in handy. If you use... if I really like not a low voltage LED, a self-sticking motor like we use in our projects, you could probably do this with like AG13 or other 1.5 volt batteries, because those 1.5 volt power sources will run a small vibrating motor just fine, but not an LED. This needs like at least 2.2 or 2.3 volts to go. But these are super handy. Make one.
So the motor, instead of lighting up, would vibrate.
Yes.
Which might be useful for someone who is vision impaired.
Yes.
Haptic feedback, as it were.
I suppose so.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can buy a multimeter with haptic feedback. Plus, you maybe shouldn't be using one if you can't. But I'm sure there's use cases.
I'm sure there's a use case for everything, Pete.
Yeah.
There's a use case for this really awesome Lego skeleton.
What would the case for that be?
I don't know. Like making a haunted house, which was a project we did last October. And we actually did something with Make Magazine where we showed off techniques of doing underlighting and panel lighting for Lego, which essentially boils down to finding translucent or clear or diffused Lego pieces.
Where would you find those?
Well, Amazon.com,
Wow.
not from Lego, but from other companies who make both plates and bricks. Then using something like our Crazy Circuits surface mount LED parts, there are mini LEDs, we call them. Mini. Just like a regular LED, just only 1/8.
Wait, how would you get to Amazon if you're in Canada?
Amazon.ca.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Scott.
You could take a plane trip to Brazil and see the other Amazon.
I'm not
anyway,
sure that one's open.
Lego makes a lot of translucent parts they have over the year, but there's very few clear ones, especially plates. Those are really hard to come by on like secondhand Lego sites. We just found a few, and you just go on there, translucent brick, translucent Lego, translucent building block on Amazon. You can find lots of different companies that make knockoff ones. And most common, you find like the 2x4, 2x2, the brick, not the plates. All we do is you make a layer. One layer with your electronics, raise everything up with one layer of plate, then throw your translucent stuff on top. Nice. Yay. Then you build up around it. It's... You use sound effect.
Yes. Is there those are like kind of clear, transparent. Is there like a cloudy, sort of a frosted version as well?
Well, yeah. We actually tried out a bunch of different companies just for the heck of it. And we're like, well, who has a good source of these? And some of them were definitely more cloudy than others. Like some were like really translucent, and others were not. I think a lot of these are from like Laser Pegs, which was a company that made like their own light up Lego compatible-esque parts. You could find like expansion packs. They're really cheap now. So we just bought a bunch of expansion packs off eBay because they actually had some smaller plates and pieces, whereas the bigger sets tend to have, if anything, like they have large plates and bricks, but not the 2x4, which is what I really wanted for the clear plates. But of course, Lego makes a ton of different like colored bricks over the years. You can easily find those. And as I told people the other day, if you go into you go into eBay and search for translucent Lego, you can buy translucent Lego parts by the pound, and you'll get lots of odds and ends like this. But we bought like 2 pounds of clear Lego or translucent Legos, just a big old tub full of just random translucent-y parts. I also showed too, you can also use regular 3mm and 5mm LEDs by shoving them through Lego pieces or up into other pieces like so.
Yeah.
To light them up, and you get a lot of Lego pieces that have pass-throughs on them. Like this guy has an axle pass-through on it, so you could run the legs down. Then the big thing would be using like maker tape to run out to a battery source somewhere else. But it's really easy to add lights to a lot of different types of Lego pieces, quick and easy. And it's something that if you have Legos already, which if you're into our crazy circuit stuff, it's probably because it's Lego compatible. But you can easily take these translucent parts or mix and match things, and suddenly you've got like light up fun parts that aren't costing you an arm and a leg. There's a few companies that sell light up Lego pieces, but typically they're for specific sets, and they're really, 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 really tiny wires and components. Yeah. They're for advanced Lego hobbyists. They're adult level things, not a kid level thing. And this is totally kid or, like us, amateur fun people. We don't want to spend a lot of money or a lot
I'm
of time.
I'm a professional fun people.
He is.
I have a question though. Okay, so the clear ones, right? So right now Lego are made from ABS plastic.
Correct.
And I assume any of the compatible pieces probably are too.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's going to change in the future. But so the clear pieces, you could do like an acetone vapor bath like we do with 3D printed ABS things, and it could fog them, I think.
I suppose.
It might be something to try. I don't know.
It seems like a lot of extra work.
You could probably color in with a highlighter or a marker too if you didn't want clear and you want some other color.
Well, you can get tons of colors off like just buying a big old set.
But I have like a 50-pack of different colored markers. I could just color them in.
I suppose. You can just go to brickowl.com or
bricklink.com
or Bricklink.
There it is.
Brown Dog Edges. That's where you can buy like individual Lego pieces from Lego resellers.
Nice.
We go there for like want a bunch of Lego ghosts. Which
is there a minimum quantity? Can I just one
yes.
Lego? One
yeah,
Lego brick?
I have literally bought like a single thing off Brick Owl. But it's yay, it's easy.
Yeah,
and I did it when
cool.
I bought a bunch of these, or Amazon or eBay.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I bought a bunch of Lego ghosts for a Halloween set because these are the glow in the dark kind.
Spooky.
So they were kind of nice. We did a full haunted house with a bunch of layer effects. But enough of this crap.
Very cool.
Sorry, children watching this crap. I have like Legos. Somebody dropped a bunch of Legos here.
Yeah, I did that. You left them on my desk.
Sad trombone.
No, that was crickets.
All right. What else we do this
I didn't
week?
know where to show up. Some was Lego.
I got allergies kicking in.
You
So
allergic to Lego?
We posted this on whatchamacallit, on Twitter and on Facebook and stuff. This is a simple dark. Oh my gosh!
Gotta let people know.
Go grab the solar bug too, would you?
I'll get a solar bug. You keep going.
Yeah, I'll keep going. If anybody's watching, so some of you posting on Instagram. This is something we're working on for some solar kits for summer camps. This is a dark detecting circuit using a transistor, as it says above. It should be a 3904, 2N3904 transistor, a resistor, LED, and a photoresistor. But the idea is that you put your hand over the photoresistor, pulls the base, and opens and closes that gateway, and suddenly you've got a dark detecting circuit. Yay! This is something we're putting together for a kit. It's really easy. We're using tape for all this as opposed to a breadboard because we wanted to take the same idea and turn it into, say, like a Firefly project or something else that we could do a fun paper craft or two with. And so this is a pretty easy thing. We'll post this up on our website here next week as here's a template, here's the directions, here's the parts you need. I mean, these are like, when we buy these in bulk off DigiKey, you can buy them from as low as 2 cents each when you buy 2,000 of them. I think we're paying like 3.8 cents each because we want them in a smaller quantity.
Yeah.
But still, spend $1 on and buy some transistors, you'll spend more on shipping. But it's really easy to do some easy dark detecting things. I used to use this similar circuit to this years ago. We used it for a simple, like, rechargeable battery garden light. We'd use a 2 AAA battery holder and the solar panel as the dark detecting aspect. Was a pretty easy circuit to make a, like, nighttime lamp.
Yeah.
Panel charged batteries, and when there's no power coming to the panel, LED turned on, but it only really worked with like red LEDs due to the voltages involved. We didn't want to go to like bigger panels and whatnot just for cost for kids using it.
Now, Josh, correct me, or if I'm wrong, but the circuit is even when it's not lit up, it's still using power, right?
It actually is. It's
Yes.
not in a very efficient circuit, but you know what it is? It's one that works.
Yeah. My point is, I think a lot of people who don't really understand how electronics work, they know about a light switch. You turn it on, oh, it's on. You turn it off, it's off. So like when you take your hand away, it's still on because it's still using power, but it's just not lighting up that LED.
No, and this is kind of hard. There you go with studio lights.
Yeah.
We have a clear LED on here just for testing.
The ones that blind you. Gotcha.
Clear. When you want to blind somebody, use clear LEDs. When you want something like nice, use a diffused LED like this blue diffused.
Beautiful diffused light, yes.
Let's grab a couple of those. Allergies. It's like I don't have COVID. It's just allergies.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, somebody else made a comment, Pete.
Hello. That's it.
Oh,
Old
wow.
2 Murmur says hello.
Let's do the last thing we're working on.
Thing.
Oh, shoot, Pete, if you, I was going to say, should I grab, go into my shared user account, Pete, on our network drive.
Really?
You can find the video of this. It's in there under solar.
Look.
Oh, yes. So we, for years, been selling a couple different versions of vibrating solar things. Our solar cockroach was our first project like I ever sold on our website years ago when I was teaching. And then we made a more kid-friendly version because that was a soldering version. We made a more kid-friendly non-soldering version with laser-cut wooden components, which are solar bug. But unfortunately, the cost for that was a little high, so it's always been one of those poor sellers on our part.
Where now?
Social media and vids.
Oh, cool.
There we go.
Okay.
I have things organized, I swear.
All right.
And so we actually switched to solar cockroach about a year or so ago to using maker tape to attach the vibrating motor to the solar panels at a soldering. So it became a non-soldering project, but still was not like the most kiddie-friendly thing, and most people who buy them would buy them as a my first soldering project. And the solar bug was like, it's wooden. It costs us way too much to put together, which means it costs people way too much to buy it. So we've been kicking around for, 6 months plus now to do a more paper-crafty version of the solar bug, which is what this is. This is nearly our final version of this, which is a 2-volt solar panel, a self-sticking motor, which is underneath here, which hard to see. Little pancake self-sticking motor. We use those for like our origami circuits kits and our solar cockroaches. They're great. They work off like 1.5 volts. And then some double-sided foam tape here, some 1/8-inch tape to kind of be about the same height as this. And Andy, a curriculum writer, has been making up a bunch of different bug templates that you could cut out, then draw on, and have your vibrating bot around. And then we're actually using these self-sticking googly eyes on the bottom because they're nice and smooth, which means they have very little contact, but they're nice hard contact to then help vibrate around the table and also give it some nice shaky things. Now, granted, it's not on because our studio lights are nowhere near as powerful as the sun.
Video.
But Pete has a video that I forced him to get. Yeah, let's drag it in. Whatever.
Ready?
We'll see what happens.
Look at that.
Oh, look, I'm still in the corner. Oh, it's like me and the... Ooh, I've never done this before. So that's a video from a couple days ago, which I think this exact one in my hand. Four googly eyes work better than 3. That's the 4 googly eye one. But it has a nice shaky sound, too, like a shaky, rattly sound. So it gives it a little bit of sound motion, which is nice. And it's easy to put together. So this is basically what we're going to be doing as an upgraded version, the new version of our solar bug kit. So,
All right. Let's go back. Here we go. There you're back.
can we go back to overhead?
Overhead, sure. Oh, it's still there.
Go back
Oh,
to,
yeah,
here,
this.
see where it says shows camera next to the number of
Right
viewers?
here.
Go back to the
There.
camera. Yeah, click on that. There we go.
There we go.
Yay, software.
On the fly.
Yeah. This is something we'll be putting out. Like, we're just putting this together for a summer camp. Really, there are beta testers, but it works just fine. We're just putting together some directions, a first pass of directions for the templates we're doing. And the idea is that if you were to get a kit of this, we'd have like a 4-pack for $25.
Yeah.
It would have 8 different bug templates in there. We'd have cards, and on one side is one template, one's on the other, so we'd have 8 to choose from. And then we'd have some legs and wings as well you could add on. I think we're going to have a couple of larger things too. We think we have like a crab, and we have a spider, which are not insects. Crab would be a decapod.
It's a bug, though, right? I mean,
It is kind of a bug. Oh, we got questions, Pete.
Maker Block says he's going to go look in the drawer. I'm not sure what he's looking for, but, that's pretty cool.
Maker Block, if you find something in your drawer, please let us know.
So, Josh, you always say, like, oh, this solar bug, you got to take it outside.
Yes.
You know what? In my mind, that's where bugs belong. Outside. Not in my house, not in the building here. Outside.
Spoken like a man who's never had a couple praying mantises in a container in his classroom before
No, thank
for
you.
all the kids to look at that
Yeah.
his mother caught. My mom caught those praying mantises herself. She actually got out of her car at a drive-through at a bank to grab one off the side and put it like in a cup for my classroom, which I'm like, kudos, Mom.
Yeah, and the bank reviewed that footage, and they're like, what is happening?
What is that? Like middle-aged woman, retirement-age woman doing? It's retirement age.
Stealing our mantises.
Which they are native to southern Wisconsin. We don't get much higher than southern Wisconsin.
I've seen them here.
We have both the native Carolina mantis, native to North America, as well as the introduced Chinese mantis. They look almost identical. They share the same habitat range. They just have a slightly different color variation. Chinese mantis having been introduced to...
What are you, a science teacher?
Actually, I was, but also I lived in Japan where we really liked praying mantises. They were everywhere in the area I was at. Wow. They're really kind of cool. They're big. They get like 6 inches long. They're big insects, and you can pick them up too, usually. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a bunch of these here. We'll put these files up as well if people want to make their own with their own supplies. You just add a self-sticking motor and a battery and do the same thing.
Yeah.
We like the solar aspect of this as an art and craft project, and it is a nice solar activity because it's direct sunlight to vibration motion. So that's the cool thing about it. And yeah, a bunch of templates. We'll put a kit together here shortly once we get our directions and a video up for that. But
clarification from Maker Black here. He was making fun of me because I sighed when you asked me to look in a drawer. That's fine.
Well, of course, Kif is spineless. He has no bones. He has fluid-filled sacs
bladder,
that keep him...
yeah, some sort of bladder system.
I have watched Futurama a few times, Maker Block.
Yes, a few hundred times. Definitely.
A few hundred times. Yes, Kif has no spine, which is, I think, the joke. He's spineless because he has no bones.
True.
That's the joke.
It is true.
Fry's dog, not the joke, just very sad.
No, that's true.
But yeah, this is Solar Bug Project, and we're going to post some more pictures.
And what's on the bottom of those googly feet?
No, these are googly eyes. Yeah,
googly feet?
Our curriculum writer, Andy, we're trying to find... The biggest thing was trying to find a good way to make contact between the vibrations going from here to the surface they were on. Like a nice smooth surface. We were using a piece of just acrylic we had, but any like glass table, anything kind of flat and smooth will work just fine, like a BristleBots.
Cardboard be okay?
Probably. But a lot of things we're trying out is just there's too much surface area, or it wasn't a smooth enough surface. The thing that was on the bottom was rough. We tried putting toothbrush heads at the bottom up here. There's not enough vibration.
Yeah.
But the googly eyes work really well.
Googly feet.
They're still self-sticking. They're smooth. They have a very small point of contact, and you can put them anywhere.
They make noise, too.
And they make noise, which was, as I mentioned, you were gone, so you walked away.
I was gone for a while.
I don't know. Pete had to go out for a smoke.
No. Kids don't smoke.
Pete, I'm smoking fancy
I don't
cigarettes.
smoke. You shouldn't smoke. Not good for you.
That was his cigarettes and coffee every morning.
I actually don't drink coffee either.
Me either. But anyway, yeah, these are a new thing we're working on. I mean, they're pretty much done. We're just, again, directions, which take a while to try out, doing a nice video on how to build it, and just putting together, like, packaging. Got to make a new packaging thing for it. But, yeah, probably a 4-pack for $25-ish. We're just going to make sure we do all the wonderful spreadsheeting. But, yeah, this will be nice. And it'll have probably, like, 8 different templates in there, at least, for this, with wings and legs and glue on the bottom. This is like one of the 2 little guys you're trying out in that video. So,
right.
Yay.
So who would be purchasing these? I mean, schools, adults, parents, children,
all of the above.
Groups,
like our current solar
teams.
Cockroach kit, which, by the way, is the reason why our website is blocked on so many school networks, is because the word cockroach.
Aww.
My school blocked my website for cockroach on there. Just auto filter like inappropriate material. I'm like, why? Oh, cockroach.
Solar bug.
So that's why we have the Solar Bug Kit, which might just replace the cockroach entirely, keeping us open for all people.
I heard a lot of software companies, they block it, though, because they don't want any bugs. Rimshot.
I figured. He just presses a button. I'm like, what's sound effect? I don't know.
Okay.
Just playing a sad song. But, yeah, Solar Bugs work well for schools, younger kids. It's an art project, but also a solar project. And it's entirely easy to assemble by, like, a 9 or 10-year-old. Let alone up to like middle school. We have a lesson plan for solar bugs and solar cockroaches. We're testing out different light sources. So if you're a teacher wanting to implement a solar lesson with also a fun arts and crafts component, kids can take these home when they're done. We'll have a classroom set of these, like a 25-pack for probably $100.
Do we have a disclaimer? Do not look directly into sun, because some people have done that in the past.
Too soon, Pete.
Bad idea.
Pete, gotta be nice.
Do these work during an eclipse?
We just won't stop, Willie. Just gotta keep it clean. No, Funny enough, Pete, I was just telling Andy, a curriculum writer, the number one complaint we've always gotten about our solar cockroaches or solar bugs from people has been it's not turning on. I think I've assembled it correctly. It's not turning on.
Right.
We found, this is crazily enough, that modern windows have nice UV treatments on them, which block a lot of the usable energy from the sunlight coming through. And so they won't trigger through a window. And I've had teachers I'm just telling them, open the window, put your hand outside.
Right.
It works.
Well, you can't always open windows nowadays
No, you can't.
in some buildings.
Yeah, and so I always tell people too, you have to be outside in direct, clear sunlight. Because even today, it's a nice sunny day out, but it's still overcast. These won't work. You need direct, forward,
good sun,
beam of light.
Good Florida sun.
You know that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when Indiana Jones puts the staff and there's this beam of light that comes out? You need that kind of beam of sunlight. Yeah.
Josh,
except from the sun.
We've
not
got
from
a very
stars.
important question from Full to Murmur. Can it be delivered to India? Could we ship to India?
Yes.
I would say yes, but there are certain countries during the pandemic the post office is not delivering to, so I don't know how we ship, but
And we'll also be having these up on Amazon. We sell all of our kits on Amazon,
Amazon.com.
and when these are up on there, it'll be up on Amazon. And usually for international things, the biggest issue we have is just some countries are they're difficult for us to ship to for some whatever reason. Germany being one. Germany has so many levels of bureaucracy. Kudos to the Germans and their very long, very exact words, which we all love. But I always tell people, especially countries that we don't ship to because we've always had issues shipping to them, that you can buy off Amazon. Shipping would be probably cheaper through them anyway than going through us.
Sure.
And it's the same thing. It's just, we'd rather it get to you without problems than, and we lose a little bit of money because of Amazon, than us having to send out a package. We have packages which are send out more than once. They come back to us after 2 months. We send it out again. It becomes a major issue. And two, we'll have the directions and the graphics and whatnot. So if you really, say for some reason, can't get our stuff into your country, especially India, things like these little 2-volt solar cells or something similar, because you can take apart an old solar light and use that if you wanted to. You could make this a variety of ways. Just here's the design that works well for us. Print off the template on some nice heavier cardstock. This is just some the same cardstock we use on our packaging.
How would they print it? Can they get the file somewhere?
We're putting everything up on our website.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked me today to message me on Instagram saying, can I laser cut these out? You can put the DXF files. I'm like, first off, don't overcomplicate things. It's an art project for kids, but you could, or use a Cameo silhouette or other sort of a CNC cutting machine. We have a Cameo silhouette ourselves here. You could, I didn't even cut that close when I cut this out. I just did around the edge.
Yeah.
Because I was it's testing 10 different versions. We have to be exact. But even this looks pretty nice. But as soon as you color this in, put a couple legs on this puppy, a couple wings, deck it out, maybe some streamers, a little air horn, could bounce, little lifts on it, use some big googly eyes.
If you need some wings and you don't have any, I would suggest maybe you just get some Red Bull.
Yeah, Wings was a great 90s TV show. Tony Shalhoub.
No, you're thinking of Paul McCartney's band. Although he had another one, I guess.
Band on the Run?
Yeah. Josh, do you know a Marcy?
Yeah, I know Marcy.
That was me.
Oh, Marcy. Yeah, you asked about. That was Marcy. Hey, Marcy.
There you go.
Yeah, I try not to overcomplicate things because we have a laser cutter, and so often, I have a laser cutter. I'll just use the laser cutter. And we're we don't really need to go that complicated. Keep it simple. But you could, and we'll put the files up there. And even then, PDFs we have are all vector files. You can just open that up in CorelDRAW and convert that. But we'll probably put it in a couple different versions, everything up, maybe one big DXF
CorelDRAW,
file.
what is this, 1995?
Okay. Well, we have to use CorelDRAW with our laser cutter, or Adobe Illustrator, or Inkscape.
Lightburn, whatever. Yeah.
Lightburn.
Lots of options.
Lightburn. It's what happens when you touch a 60 watt.
But Josh, like many of our projects, they are meant to inspire and make people just, go further if possible. So if someone wants a laser cut, cool. Or maybe plasma cut from steel, it probably won't move. But
you have to use a really big vibrating motor. No, I always say sometimes the way we do activities, they're what works the best with the parts that we can readily get at a price that works. Mm-hmm. And sometimes projects that I'll do, or even projects we've designed here as possible products, they just don't work when you try to do them in a large scale or for packaging or for schools, just due to the cost of the individual components.
Right.
And so every now and then people send me pictures hey, I made a different version of your solar cockroach with what I had available. I'm like, great. Yeah. Whatever works for you, because we just do what works well for us. We have a great supplier who gets us these 2-volt cells. We've been getting these for us for 8 years now. That is awesome. We have a great motor manufacturer, and we use the self-sticking motor because it's what we use in 2 other kits already. So it works just fine. But we make a lot of decisions based on the availability and pricing to keep it at a price point that works for schools and libraries. But if you have other materials around, give them a whirl. I know the biggest issue with anything solar-based is just making sure that there is a panel that works for the thing you're trying to light up or move or kick into gear. And that can sometimes be an issue. And even us, like 2 volt here, this 2 volt cell with this vibrating motor, it's just enough to get things going, which is why you need direct sunlight. But a bigger solar cell will be more weight. We have some 4 volt cells we used to use. We have a couple of them around. We tried them out. They work great. But however, it's twice the weight now. It really is just 2 of these. I'm like, yeah, it's not worth doing. So again, whatever works best for you if you're trying to do some from scratch. I mean, do this out of cardboard. I always tell people the best material I found for projects like this is cereal box cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's nice and thin. It's sturdy. Everybody has a cereal box around. And no one cares. Take the bag out of the box anyway. It's not like you're harming anything. Or a box of macaroni and cheese even. Use that. We just use this cardstock because it's the same stuff we use in our printed cards, in our packaging. It's a nice weight and good durability, but also you can draw on it with a colored pencil really easily. And with a marker pretty well. It just takes a second to dry. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason we choose certain things for our kits. It's sometimes just the convenience for us.
Do we have time for a story?
I want to hear the Pete story. Pete.
Okay, so years ago, over at Milwaukee Makerspace, I needed some cereal boxes. I didn't have any cereal at home because I wasn't eating cereal at the time. So I posted on the mailing list, hey, I need some empty cereal boxes. If anyone, has some, let me know. Just drop on my shelf. So I went in, and on my shelf, there were 20 or 30. I was like, okay, cool. I went back the next week, there was another 30 or 40, right? And then by the third week, I had 100. I'm like, whoever's doing this, please stop. I have enough. So, people collect cereal boxes because, it's great little thin cardboard.
It's a great cardboard material. As a teacher, there's certain materials you always would keep, 2-liter soda bottles.
Oh, yeah.
Cardboard boxes, tissue boxes, toilet paper type tubes, or
paper towel tubes. Yep.
Certain things you'd have just a cupboard full of at your school. If anybody else would be Pete, you have a hoarding problem.
No.
But, you're a teacher.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yogurt cups or any little plastic containers. We'd make drawing little wiggle bots with those. Yeah.
Yeah. Although these days a good one of the projects we did we have on our website is a Angry Dixie cup, which is here's one right here because we never clean off this table. Using a Dixie cup, you can also get I think somebody around here called them a Jello shot clear cup, but they're grocery store sample cups almost.
Yeah.
You can get those.
The kind you get in your cough medicine, one of those little things.
Yeah, you go to a doctor my pills are in this little clear cup.
Yeah.
You can get those
I went to the bathroom in that cup.
Pete, just
Did I do it wrong?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry about that.
People I'm working with. But no, those work really well for making vibrobots. Dixie cups just work well because it's a nice paper. But you get this is just a cheap white one because you can easily draw on it. And that's another thing too, finding the right material that people can draw on.
Yeah.
Because I know we've tried using markers with this material. We had a bunch of cards up for Boys and Girls Club in Milwaukee. And they gave everybody markers, and we don't use markers in our office. We either use a Sharpie every now and then, or we use colored pencils for our stuff.
Yep.
It didn't dry really. It dried, but it didn't dry right away like you would on a piece of paper.
Right.
So a lot of kids with colored marker on their hand.
They went through a lot of soap that day.
Yeah, just again things to think about. But this paper Dixie cup works great because it just absorbs that. This is just a Sharpie, but materials make a big difference when it comes to even paper projects. And if I can find I might even just get from our supplier too a matte version of this, a non-glossy version, just so that it's easier for people to draw on. Just have it only for the bug kits. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just little things you notice and you pick up, and we get feedback from teachers.
Got another question, Josh.
Oh my gosh, people.
And this, I like this one here. Can you read that one?
Can you please teach me Arduino coding?
Can we do that?
Well, funny you should ask that because we are putting up some free lessons for Arduino coding on our website under the Crazy Circuits tab. And we are going to be going through and we have a high track level that we are finishing up, which is, I was thinking that high school, adult level, learning how to do Arduino coding. And you can do that with just a standard Arduino, and just you'd have to change the pinouts on things compared to what we have. We're using our Crazy Circuits parts with our Crazy Circuits Arduino boards. it's the same thing. You could use LEDs, any Arduino kit you want for it. But we're going to have that up on our website, and we're going to do a secondary track, which is a more project-based, like light coverage track where it's more project-based. We're going to make an LED blink. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to teach you too much, like give you all the super deep explanations, but we're going to show you how to do things and do the things that most people tend to want to do.
Well, we put a lot of comments in the code.
We are
pretty
actually
much explain what I have.
Pete's putting a lot of comments in the code. Pete is doing it.
Pretty much every line is commented explaining kind of what it is and what it does.
Yep, and so you can see how those things go. And we're not doing anything too fancy or too crazy, fairly simple parts.
Basics, yeah.
And then we're going to get out to a few common sensors like a distance sensor, a temperature sensor. We're going to be doing then that approach for Arduino. Then we're going to do that same approach for microbit because we're developing our Crazy Circuits microbit board, which we showed off a couple weeks ago, and which is Pete's going to grab one. We're working on that puppy now. Here's one of the projects we posted, which is just our Crazy Circuits format, which is a Lego format, but using the microbit. And it's using the microbit with buttons and LEDs and other components. And the microbit's a good platform, so we want to kind of use that. I know for schools as well. Use that. That person have another question as well, Pete, looks like?
I mean, Maker Block's just having a good time now.
That's literally my life. Like, we have two people. Then those two people that's like, let me ask you all the important questions. Although, in their defense, I was the guy on the Hummingbird robotics live stream this afternoon who was the only person watching on Facebook. So they said, any questions? Ask a question. I'm like, what's the square root of 9? And they actually threw it up to their panelists, to people on Zoom. And people started holding up like 3. And like, I'm like, I was just being sarcastic because I was watching your video. By the way, Bird Brain Technologies with their Hummingbird kits, they make some good stuff. We like their products. They're nice people to hang out with at trade shows.
Well, Josh, the thing is, we're at a crossroads now. You know, most people have been stuck at home for months. We've been stuck in this factory for 3.5 months. We haven't left.
I think this brick wall is so clean because we keep cleaning it off.
We get food delivered in every day. We sleep here. So, I mean, any sort of human contact is all we're looking for. So,
I mean, our poor office dog is just like, I've had enough of you guys. He's under the desk, like this desk right here, right now.
We're up to 5 viewers. I mean,
I think the more we
more than doubled.
I think if we're mean to people, do you think more people will watch?
I'm
no
Mathican.
Make Block. I heard mean things.
Maker Block.
Maker Block.
Make Block is that's a company.
I hear you make horrible tacos.
No, he's a cool guy. Don't mess with him.
The word let's read is your fajitas are horribly made. I don't know. I'm sure you're a very nice person. But anyway, but yeah, we're for people doing Arduino stuff, we are putting out that curriculum now. Andy, curriculum writer's writing it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be doing the microbit thing afterwards. But that the higher track has just taken us a lot longer than expected. But we've got, 2 weeks now. We're going to have probably almost 3 weeks worth of like lessons, which is probably more than that in a classroom setting.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to go back through and, of course, do everything on a little lower pass as well. Mm-hmm. But yay cool. For fun stuff with LEDs, which I'm not going to turn on because I don't want to find that power strip. And whatever. I could just, I guess it is right
here.
One
right there.
Microbit. Get with the program, guys. Get with the program, Microbit. It's nice if you use a microbit, give it a try. It's a nice little development board, like $20 on Amazon.
Very nice sort of GUI, graphical user interface for programming it.
That's the MS Make code. Microsoft has a nice drag and drop interface, which even when we were using some of the sensors we have, our distance sensor, our temperature humidity sensor, even though there's a built-in temperature sensor, like getting the distance sensor was one of the options was like import other things that people have written. It was like, okay, import settings for distance sensor, drag. Right. I'm like, that was really easy. Yeah. So it is really simple, especially doing small things with servos or potentiometers, which we have our Crazy Circuits potentiometers, even our NeoPixel boards that we have. Yep. Very easy to do things with the microbit. It's got a few nice built-in sensors like an accelerometer, a temperature sensor, a light sensor as well. You can use that on there.
Josh, we have another comment here. I don't think Maker Block's happy about this whole
the Fajitas?
Fajitas thing. And
is that a character from Dragon Ball Z?
And then Full 2 Murmur wants to make an Arduino homework writing machine, so that sounds exciting.
Well, if you make one, we'd be happy to also make one.
Yeah. And now, did we announce the the viewer of the week.
Oh my gosh, that's right. We keep joking that we're going to announce a viewer of the week.
I saw it on YouTube, but the code. So keep looking on YouTube and other sites. You'll get the answers. Viewer of the week. Who's the viewer of the week?
I don't know. Who do you want to make viewer of the week? I mean, we keep joking that John Chavone should be the junior.
If he were here right now and commented, he would definitely be it.
He's popping up like all the time, like guaranteed like clockwork. John Chavone.
Yeah.
We just make him that and put a little sign up that says John. Maybe some applause. John Chavone.
John Chavone.
We should get like put a little overlay, do like little explosions, fireworks on screen.
We'll do that.
John Chavone, you get one free high five.
Excellent. Well, not yet. When COVID's over, maybe. Virtual high five.
We'll build a machine that'll high five people using
I'm on it. Okay.
A servo.
I like how it looks like you're in the battery right now. What magic
I'm a really
is
cool
this?
sticker.
You okay? All right. What else do we have for? What are we doing next week? Tell people what.
I don't know. I haven't planned out that far. It's gonna be Monday. I don't.
Did we do the speaker yet?
Oh, we haven't. We'll do next week.
Speaker.
We will do the DIY speaker, which is a cool project on our website to make your own speaker. Because everything is sitting over here on this other table because we never clean things off.
It's not super loud, is it?
It can actually be decently loud.
Get
Although
ready,
if you
Maker
crank
Block.
things up high enough with the right stereo, like
Gotcha.
ours is like a $5 stereo from Goodwill, which is fairly powerful, like 200 watt or whatever.
I have like a 1200 watt PA system. I'll bring that in if you want.
Yeah, we do know if we crank that puppy up all the way and then crank up the sound all the way on our phone or an iPod, at a certain point the maker tape gets hot enough that we had like plastic sheets we did the templates on just so it had a fun look. The plastic was melting. It was getting like warm enough that it was causing problems.
Did I mention 1200 watts? I can bring that in.
No. But the thing is, you can also run that project entirely off of like an iPhone.
Yeah.
If you use a
audio out,
like
you need
a,
audio
like
output,
a headphone to like an RCA splitter, or even like a headphone to just male headphone out.
Don't forget the dongle if it's an iPhone, though. They don't have audio out anymore.
I'll bring my second gen iPod with the click wheels. I think that's still working.
Yeah.
That thing will rock out this place.
Or like
with
maybe
this
a
big
Zune.
mechanical
Grab
hard
a
drive.
Zune or something.
A Zune, man. I kind of at this point there's certain piece of like technology I kind of just want to buy because now at the secondhand market they're kind of hitting like the bottom of like their costing point before they pop back up for nostalgia purposes again.
Sure.
Because everything bottoms out and then it comes back up. People want like nostalgia collector stuff. And I think like the Zune and certain iPods are going back up again now.
Really?
Because it's nostalgia collectors, YouTube commentators out there doing fun like unboxing vids of an unboxed like original iPod Nano. I know because I've watched those videos before.
Wow. I'm sorry.
I watched somebody unbox an original like iMac.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and they're making comments. It's like, you're saying it wrong. Why do I still know these things? And they're just like, oh, why am I watching this at 2 a.m.?
I'm going to do an unboxing of a box of 3 1/4 floppy disks that I found the other day in my basement.
Should an unboxing thing of like a Cadbury egg. Like, hey, today we're going to look at an
have one
unboxing
at
of
home.
Cadbury egg. Wow, I really like the design. What's kind of on the outside? Is it? I can tell the people watching it know far more than they're talking about because I know these people. Like watching enough the videos now, they're smart people who know their like technology. Like, oh wow, look at this. I'm like, you know that. You knew that was there. You've totally used this product before. And now I'm ranting about other people's videos. Snazzy Labs, I like your stuff. Anyway, we're putting templates on our website next week. You'll find these. We'll do videos about this later, like a build video. It's one of like 3 different transistor circuits Andy is working on. One's a capacitive touch. One's a moisture sensor. We're going to be doing the same kind of circuits. Just yeah. Andy's putting those together for some summer camps. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Well, Josh, I'm tempted. We got 6 viewers now. Should we end it?
I mean, we're at a high point here. Take that, other people. Take that,
All
Hummingbird.
right.
I was on
wow.
there.
Hey,
no,
they're great.
I like their stuff.
All right.
This is a free kit ages ago to play with, and it's well built. It's their old version.
We're back on Tuesday, right? Streaming again?
Tuesday.
All right, we'll see you Tuesday.
Maybe I have a couple people I want to get on as like as guests.
You want Maker Block on? He makes stuff.
Does he? What does he make? Besides
Maker Block.
fajitas that nobody likes.
He makes some very cool drawing machines and stuff like that.
That's not Dan from
3D
Margin and Clever,
printers.
is it?
No. No.
MarginandClever.com. We have big drawing machines that Michelangelo.
He does similar but better.
Oh, good, but better. Oh, that'd be nice because I
hope he's still watching.
You know, Pete, it's reminding me of the gigantic like 10-foot by 10-foot drawing machine we had in our
yes,
old
that's
office,
right,
which is a
the
couple
old- yeah.
like office built like units down in our building now.
Yeah.
We covered a wall with dry erase paint. It's paint
right.
like basically made a dry erase board, just painted it on. It made like a smooth dry erase surface.
Yeah.
We built a big version of like a polar graph drawing machine.
Yep.
If you look in our YouTube videos, going back far enough, you'll see like some time-lapse videos of this thing. We did like, why the hell not? I mean, it'd be kind of fun to try out, but nobody was ever interested in it, it seemed.
Yeah.
But that was really, like, big drawing machine's fun, but we can never find a good use for a market for it. And then we realized, who's going to pay $300 for a big drawing machine? We can buy yourself a 3D printer for like the same price, and now buy a 3D printer for like $190 a mono price.
Yeah.
But anywho, enough of this chit-chatting, because we have more work to do.
Back Tuesday. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Tuesday! I'm doing like little finger point things.
And
bye, everybody.
credits.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media at browndoggadgets. Check out our live streams at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you next time.